nearly
Good day and
3,000
welcome
years
to the
ago,
channel. The film I have
the
chosen
passion for one
today
woman
is Troy.
ignited
This
the
is the
greatest battle ever
2004
fought
hit film
for love.
that centers
I
around
want her
a
back.
historical
Will
battle
you go to war with
between
me, brother?
two people
We're sending the
groups.
largest fleet that ever sailed.
There
We
are a
need
number
the
of great
greatest
things
warrior.
about this film. Let us
Killers
begin.
can't be controlled. Be careful, King of Kings.
The first thing that we should consider is the director and producer, who is one and the same Wolfgang Peterson. Let's consider some of the films that he's either directed or produced. So, starting in 1981 with Das Boot, he directed this. 1984, The Never-Ending Story, he directed this film. 1985, Enemy Mine, he directed. 1991, Shattered, he both directed and produced, as well as wrote the story. 93, In the Line of Fire, he directed this film and was the executive producer. And this film is an important one as it was a Clint Eastwood led film. 95 saw Outbreak, which he both directed and produced. 97, Air Force One, which had Harrison Ford in it. He both directed and produced this film. 1999, a film called Bicentennial Man, which I believe starred Robin Williams. He was the producer of that film. 2000, The Perfect Storm. He both directed and produced that film. That leads to 2004, which this film we're considering Troy. He done both the directorial work and the production side, the producer. Then 2006 with Poseidon, he done both directing and producing. And finally 2016, Wir gegen die Bank. I think that's how you pronounce that film. He done both the directorial and the production or producing. So he's done quite a few good films there, some really important films such as The Never-Ending Story, In the Line of Fire, Air Force One, Bicentennial Man, and obviously this one. Let's turn to the second reason why this film is a great film for anyone to watch, shall we? And that happens to be the cast of the film. Beginning with the character Achilles, who was portrayed by Brad Pitt. Then you had Hector, the Crown Prince of Troy, portrayed by Eric Bana. Paris, Prince of Troy, the younger brother of Hector, played by Orlando Bloom. You had Helen, the former Queen of Sparta, who became Princess of Troy, Paris's lover, played by Diane Kruger. Agamemnon, the King of the Greeks, played by Brian Cox. Odysseus, the King of Ithaca, played by Sean Bean. Menelaus, the King of Sparta and the younger brother of Agamemnon, played by Brendan Gleeson. Briseis, the Princess of Troy, the priestess of the Trojan temple of Apollo, and Hector and Paris's cousin, played by Rose Byrne. Priam, King of Troy, and Hector and Paris's father, played by Peter O'Toole. Andromache, Hector's wife and Crown Princess of Troy, played by Saffron Burrows. Thetis, Archelaus' mother, played by Julie Christie. Nestor, Agamemnon's advisor, played by John Shrapnel. Archiptolemus, the Trojan high priest, played by Nigel Terry. Glaucus, second in command of the Trojan armies, played by James Cosmo. Priapus, king of Thessaly, played by Julian Glover. And we also have Aridius, the second in command of the Mimeridians. That's Arkley's second in command, sorry. Played by Vincent Reagan. Velia, portrayed and played by Trevor Eve. Ajax, played by Tyler Main. And finally, Borgarius, Priapus's champion, played by Nathan Jones. So all in all, you have several important people there being mentioned, such as Peter O'Toole, uh, Brendan Gleeson, Sean Bean, Brian Cox, Orlando Bloom, Eric Banner, and obviously Brad Pitt, and one other, Trevor Eve. So now we come to the third reason why this film is great, and that is the composer or the musical composer behind the film. And his name is James Horner. We've already considered him in other films, but let's just recap some of the films he's done scores for. They are as follows: An American Tail, Land Before Time, The Rocketeer, An American Tail, Fievel Goes West, Sneakers, Once Upon a Forest, We're Back, The Dinosaurs Story, The Page Master, Casper, Jumanji, and Balto, Mighty Joe Young, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Now, that's obviously the one that we've considered before, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. He's also done the scores to Braveheart and Apollo 13, Titanic, The Perfect Storm, A Beautiful Mind, Enemy at the Gates, The Masked Zorro, House of Sand and Fog, Bicentennial Man. So there's just some of the films he's done scores to in a more general sense. Let's now turn to the music to Troy itself, shall we? And we begin with this one called 3,200 Years Ago. Then there's Troy. Archelaus leads the Myrmidons, the Temple of Poseidon, the night before, the Greek army and its defeat, Briseis and Archelaus. The Trojan Horse Attack, Hector's Death, The Wooden Horse and the Sacking of Troy, Through the Fires, Arcles and Immortality, and finally Remember. And that last track, Remember, is specifically important for us because it wasn't just simply a classical piece, it was an actual song of words sung by Josh Groban and Tanya Zarowska. So there's the track listing for the film, and it is a mighty set of songs that really exemplify the film in every point that they're put. Let's turn to the final thing about this film that makes it great, and that is both the budget and the box office income. So the budget was set at 175 to 185 million, which is quite a staggering amount for a film, but it's understandable because what turned out to be what we see turns out to be a really, really great film for anyone to watch. Now, the box office income, it garnered 497.4 million. Let's now consider this a little more closely, shall we? So in America and Canada, it garnered 133.4 million. And in other territories, it garnered 364 million for a worldwide total of 497.4 million, making the film one of the highest grossing films of 2004, alongside The Passion of Christ, Spider-Man 2 and Shrek 2. So you can see just how well it done in 2004. When the film was completed, total production costs were approximately 185 million. So you set what it garnered in the box office against that, and you see that it garnered almost 300 million more, which made it a real great success. The film made 46.9 million on its opening weekend, topping the box office then 23.9 million in its second weekend, falling to second. So it done really well in its opening couple of weeks. So there's a little more background for just that aspect.